What's up, everybody? Lawler here, and going to be doing some interesting things to mix up the content. Again, scrolling through the Twitter feed, trying to figure out some stuff to talk about, some stuff to look at, and this one caught my eye. Liquipedia RL ended up putting out a tweet earlier on Christmas, actually, saying that 20 clips that defined Rocket League Esports in 2020, and it kind of piqued my interest. I'm like, well, what are these? What do you deem things that caught the attention in 2020 for RL Esports? So in this series, it's going to be a 4-part series. We're going to take 5 clips at a time and take a look at what the clips are, why they're important and what they mean, and provide some context to them, and just kind of react to what the clips are in general. But before we get into that, as always, if you guys enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you have any questions or some clips that you think we missed out, or ones you think may appear in the future, drop those down in the comments below. Maybe we'll do a follow-up video if we get a bunch of different likes and a bunch of different suggestions. With that said, let's get into the clips. So first clip on the list is Astral's flip reset triple tap in RL Esports Season 9 European Regionals Finals to lead Dignitas to their regional championship victory. This one was actually a pretty big deal, and I'm going to talk over this and then we'll listen to it as well at the same time. The audio should be bumped pretty high for y'all. It's just Twitter compression sucks. If anybody at Twitter hears this or sees this, please fix whatever thing you use for your videos, because they're absolute trash. It completely kills the quality. Loading them sucks. It's just bad. Twitter, please. So yeah, this one was kind of a big deal because it was Season 9. There was talks of multiple things happening. So hopefully this is loud enough and you guys can hear this. But the crazy thing is, in Season 7, they go with Scrub, win a world championship. Season 8, they go to the grand finals and lose by 1 to NRG. And then it blew everybody's mind that Vitality, after having such good performance, was willing to give up Scrub, a player that has only made it to the grand finals of world championships, and bring in Alpha. So like, that whole concept was just unbelievable for everybody. And yet, despite that, Vitality finds themselves in the regional championship still. And then Dignitas, a team that we're trying to figure out, like, what are they going to get going? Are they going to be this team that's supposed to be really incredible? And they, after doing so well in the semifinal match or the lower final match of the world championship, we're like, are we going to get that recreation? Are we going to continue to see Dignitas's performance? And I think the icing on the cake for this whole thing was the fact that Dignitas is winning the regional championship. And because we didn't have a world championship, this is technically the world championship of the season. So a pretty big deal here for Dignitas. If we're going to actually take a look at the play, Violent Panda with a good stall, or a flip cancel, I guess, to pop it over. And then Aztral just so damn good. Like, it's to talk really what goes into this. So the pass already from the midfield is absolutely crazy. Aztral pre-jumps this and is already in the air before the pass develops. One touch off the backboard, adjusts perfectly. When you hit an aerial and you need to set up a second touch, you need to boost through it. Otherwise, the momentum of the ball will like knock your car away. So like, he boosts through it, immediately recovers, gets a second touch, and it's actually a flip reset. And then from there, he just times it perfectly and puts another shot. And the placement is across away from Alpha, so it goes in. Just absolutely cracked. Unbelievable play from Dignitas. This is obviously only game 2. Yeah, this is game 2, but then they go on to win the whole thing. So pretty crazy stuff there. On to clip number 2. The time when Fireburner subbed in for Torment and Cloud9 during RL Esports Season 9. Oh, I remember this. Gimmick still was ball chasing super hard, and I was getting really frustrated because like Fireburner was like in the back corner and like clearly needed the boost and was like in position to go and make a play, and Gimmick like cuts him off and like bumps and stuff. I remember the series, it tilted me, but Fireburner, after not playing much, had to come in and substitute because of internet issues Torment was having so much, and basically clutched up the series. He like saved their season. It was actually incredible.
Good hit forward by Squishy, and a good demo as well. That's 2 out of the game for Sonic. Squishy with an uncontested hit. It's a Gimmick. What save by Dapper. It's Fireburner. He's denied. Still on the goal line. Fire! He puts it in!
It was so crazy. So much follow-up too from Cloud9. Understand, this is a Cloud9 that was just looking awful at the beginning of the season. Like, at the beginning of the season, they were absolutely terrible. And then they went on a run, like a crazy run at the end of the season where they just did not lose. I gotta look that up. RLCS 9. I forget what their results were at the very end. So they lost in week 1 to E United. In week 2, they lost to Rogue. They beat Flight in week 3 because everybody beat Flight. And then they lost to G2, and then they lost to Space Station. So in week 6, they beat Energy. In week 7, they beat the Sonics and Ghost Gaming. And then in week 8, they beat PK. So they went on an absolute tear towards the tail end. That completely like changed their season. They were expected to be like possibly in like relegation territory, and they ended up 5th and going 5-4. It was absolutely incredible to see that kind of bounce back. And a lot of it I think was just like hitting a groove and Torment's internet and like all the issues, and then like this was just the icing on the cake of like, man, we need you to be clutch. We know we haven't played at a serious level in a while. It was so crazy to just see him just step in, and like you talk about certain players that you're lucky to just have on the team that just kind of get it, or like rotations and stuff like that just come naturally. You never have to worry about the double commits or the overlap. Like Fireburner just plugged into the team, was like, yeah, of course, like this is just natural, and was super aggressive. He reminded me of like his Golden Striker seasons in like season 3, season 4. It was super cool to see. Clip number 3 was, let's see, Rizzo literally slept on Sizz during the Salt Mine Underground match. There's a couple things about this one. I'm gonna let this one play out just because it's funny. For those that don't know, Smug is the Salt Mine Underground, and it's meant to be kind of like a show match thing that Johnny sets up. And there's parts to this that I want to talk about. Number 1, Johnny continues to provide unique and exciting content for the community through show matches and tournaments. He's one of the only, if not the only person that does it. And it keeps getting more creative. The production levels get better. So massive shout outs to Johnny for doing what he does to provide content for this. Number 2, the fact that they call these out. Sizz has no idea about this, and Rizzo continues to be a content king. Absolutely hilarious that he busts this out. So super funny there. I don't even remember the results of the match. Obviously Rizzo won, but like just super funny to see that. They don't show any of the plays either. The fact that this is just it, I think it is a pretty big deal, showing like Psyonix is starting to put a little bit of funding behind the 1v1 scene, which is really cool. I think not only does it help Johnny and one of their content creators who has a very big platform, but it also just shows that they understand how important ones is to funneling more pros into their game. So giving them a platform, providing content and stuff, I think it just keeps people engaged. So super funny from Rizzo. Well played after the victory. Of course, you got to show that confidence. So well done by Rizzo. Just a great clip altogether. Number 4 is going to be a rare chain wall dash appearance performed by Aztral during the LAWL Esports European Spring Series. So,
he's the defender in the mid.
So for those that don't remember, after the regional championship and there was no Worlds event, what they ended up doing is they took the money that would have happened at Worlds in Dallas and they divvied it up to the different regions and had like a Spring Series tournament, which is a regional tournament. Is basically like another version of one of the regionals now. They blew it out of proportion and was just like, hey, let's find a way to utilize this money. And then they gave a bunch of stuff to the community. Spring Series kind of kicked it all off. So it was essentially like if we were to have another regional championship, this was kind of like the major. So that all goes down. Aztral continues to be nuts. What does he do? Touch here. Bunch of wall wave dashes.
Oh my gosh. If that's a goal.
He wall wave dashes to catch up.
Look at that.
So fast.
Aztral wave dashed on the wall to gains.
So he's pretty much parallel with the defender. God, Twitter quality, you suck. But he's pretty much parallel with the defender and wall wave dashes. You can see it in the gaps in the boost where he like comes off the wall to like get that dodge forward. I personally have never really tried to do wall wave dashes just because it feels weird. You're basically doing like a sideway forward dodge into the wall really quick to speed up. But like, just listen to it. That little like with the alpha boost, you can see it. I'll try to find the freeze frame. God, this is terrible. So one there. So you see that little blip right here. There's one, and then he does another one immediately after. Just so he can catch up. And that like, it's so important that he does that, because if he doesn't get to the ball fast enough, that defender in front of him denies his boost, brings it into the corner, gets this boost, and then just plays it around and they're clear. When they're already at a point where it's super close, there's still 2 minutes left. Like, these are the types of moments in the goals that really solidify a series. Having that extra goal or that insurance goal is a really big deal when you're trying to close out a series, especially a best of 7. because if you're close to closing it out and then all of a sudden the other team ties it up, you go to 7, the momentum starts to shift in the other team's favor, and it can be a really big deal. So little individual efforts like this can kind of separate the teams, and we're seeing that more now than ever in RLCSX, with individual moments really propelling a team to that next level. For Aztral to wave dash that, he catches up, he gets that little bit extra speed. It causes a really good 50-50 and then allows the play to develop. Like, you get a mistake on defense, but it's still like that awkward touch, having to read that. God, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. 1-2. I wish I could slow-mo this, but one there. You see him hop off. He's going to land again, does it again, then immediately. So, like, that little bit of difference next to each other, because he's jumping, he's going to be on the ground. He'll be, like, here when Violent Panda's, like, here, and it forces that 50. Yeah, so he's just barely ahead. Forces a 50 because his car's a little bit more forward up. It pinches off of his angle last and forces it to go forwards, which is towards the net rather than parallel off the sidewall. Luckily, the support is behind him, and he does have 2 defenders chasing. Messinaris probably wants to rotate this way to the left and have a player come off the backboard to clear it. But the fact that Messinaris still goes into the corner here is actually really bad. He wants to probably come across, maybe go for a bumper or a demo. Maybe if it gets chased around, they're okay there too, but still, you got a mistake on the back wall. You've got Aztral applying pressure. It's just really well done, and like, that's how you close out a game. Little things like that. Just unbelievable play. Astral's cracked. There's a reason why people respect him as much as they do. All right, 5th and final clip is going to be during RL Esports EU Fall Regional 2. This one's pretty recent. FairyPeak and Alpha joined forces to create one of the fastest goals ever measured at 163 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look. Versus Team Liquid.
Hustle from the previous game. And Liquid just got to hold on to this now for 90 more seconds. Alpha outpaces. He's got the stop.
Jesus.
Oh my word! What? That's got to be a record. There's no.
Oh, that touch from Cookser too is pretty rough. So how does this lead in? Let's take a look. So K-Dop gets demoed on the wall there. I'm going to assume that's Speed Fruity Cookser. So Cookser's on the wall. It bounces up super high. So he loses possession in the corner and bounces straight down. Another touch beat because he's coming from way across. You can see that boost is from super far across. So Cookser's denied a challenge, low on boost and near post. Speed was in midfield and went all the way around. So this has to be Speed save. And just like, what do you do against that? Let me see a wider angle of this.
That's gotta be a record. There's no way.
Fruity turns on it. He tries to get the aerial on the first one, doesn't get it.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah, like, if they don't come together on that goal never happens in the first place. That was absolutely wild. Like, this is what kind of defined, I would honestly, this is kind of what defined Vitality early on, where like they were a team that thrived off of chaos. Like, every single play felt like they would go for something stupid, whether it was a pass or a shot, flip reset, ceiling, whatever. If that didn't work out, another player would be perfectly in position. In this case, it's Alpha and FairyPeak, but whoever rotated in. But in Alpha's case, he's just following up from behind as a support and as a third man to kind of close out the shot. But it would like fall into his lap. He'd dribble it up the wall. He'd go for another flip reset. And it was just one thing after another. And they just were so overwhelming in play. And it didn't matter what team they were going up against. It was either them or BDS that was winning during the fall split time. And it seems like teams are getting better at handling that nowadays. But like, plays like this are just special. Like, these are ones that like, when you're a team and you score that, you're just smiling and goofing. And you're like, that's so dumb. And it's a huge morale boost too. But to tie up the game and go into that, it was wild. What a shot, man. I'm going to watch this one more time.
From the previous game.
Denied clear straight up. Another 50 on the beat. Bang. Dumb. So dumb. So dumb.
That's gotta be a record. There's no way.
Oh, what a touch too. He gets a flip reset with it. Alpha does not miss flip resets ever. If he goes for it, he's gonna hit it. That's a flip reset to self pass off the wall. He probably could have got around that and put another shot, but the fact that FairyPeak comes in, dumb. So stupid. Well, everybody, that is going to wrap the first 5 clips of the 20 clips that will define Rocket League Esports in 2020. If you guys enjoy this content, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, as well as making sure to hit subscribe and turning on notifications. In another video in a couple days here, we'll be going through clips number 6 through number 10, and we've got a couple more parts that are going. We're going to be counting these down throughout the next week. So if you guys do enjoy the content, Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. Make sure you guys drop some love in the comments if you have any questions, all that kind of stuff. And we will see you next time. Peace.